Well, hello everybody. We're going to get into posts made by people, more claims. Still well into the 7th day here, and not one answer, not one credible shred of any kind of data, evidence, pictures, or anything else from PPC or anti-vaxxers explaining Alberta's ICUs from July 1st to today. In September, near the end of September, I have yet to receive any pictures, credible evidence, or anything that can be substantiated by clear evidence. There's only one answer why. Because nobody wants to look at it, because the evidence is overwhelming in support of vaccination and the fact that Alberta opened up and the virus got released, and almost all cases are those unvaxxed at a whopping percentage. The percentage matches the rollout of the mRNA vaccinations to a T. Their claims are substantiated. And over 60, it's clear data. Clear data. Now, we're going to get into this video about claims against America, ICUs, and America's pro-choice. Now, there's two extremely different narratives when you look at USA, Canada. I'm going to go through it for all of you who don't know what you're really talking about and didn't take the time to research anything because you just want a narrative that suits your needs. I'm going to repeat this. Verifiable, credible, and you can talk to any Democrat or Republican in government and they're going to confirm what I tell you. The ICU count capacity in the USA is by far the largest in the entire world. I'm going to say it again. USA, on any given day of the week, is ready to go to full-blown war, take care of all their military ICUs, can have all kinds of massive natural disasters, and still their ICU won't be compromised because it's funded, developed, built to support that kind of initiative. The highest rate and capacity in the entire world by an extremely large margin. Canada doesn't even come close. Respectable when you view all 205 nations. There's no doubt about it. Canada's respectable. Is it the greatest? No. But it's respectable nonetheless. At those respectable levels, Alberta's ICU count flooded. They've had to forego surgeries, take over surgical rooms, find space for ventilators and life-saving machines wherever possible at a rate of 175% of Alberta's maximum ICU capacity. That's what they've done. They've foregone all kinds of surgeries. This is insanity. You can say, oh, but the USA is pro-choice. Here's the second half of this. Sure, the right and freedom is pro-choice. Well, why is that? Because the individual is held liable to pay for the ICU. 10 days in American ICU is $25,000. And you better have an employer that gives you the benefits to cover that whopping cost. Did you know the average stay in the United States of America, whether in the public sector of financing for ICUs or the private hospital two-tiered system in the USA, is 21 days? Well beyond $50,000. It's actually $52,500 for a 21-day stay in an American ICU. If you don't have insurance, you don't pay premium dollar, you don't get it. That's how it works in the US. Freedom of choice easily transfers over to the individual in the USA if you got the green, or if you're in a position where you're working and the employer's going to pay for it. Is that the same in Canada? No. Our capacity is 6 times less than the United States of America, and it's publicly funded, meaning everybody shares the cost of your bill. In fact, nothing's even being paid right now in Canada. Governments are borrowing at large margins. Alberta's in massive deficit financing to keep up, meaning we're taking massive deficit, which means deferred payment for the next generation. Not my problem, it's my kids' problem. That's called socialism. That's called taking something that you haven't paid for and getting somebody else to pay for it down the road. Build ICUs, build more capacity. I think people need to look at economics as it really is and look at nations as they really are. USA funds their healthcare tremendously more, and it's federal versus we're regional. Check it out. That's called reality. That's called real numbers, real research, verifiable, credible, and absolutely real. Now, if you want a military budget of 25% and add that ICU and have a federal system like that, it's going to cost you. You have to pick and choose what you want as a society. But when you say, oh, it's no expense to me, so who gives a shit? I'm going to choose not to get a vaccine. I don't care how much damage it does to my public funded system that I don't pay for, really. I mean, somebody does. Somebody's working hard out there to pay the taxes. And unfortunately, near 75% of them are vaccinated, who aren't going to be using that ICU, but they're all going to share in covering your costs. That is not the USA. In the USA, you pay your own way. You get a good job, you determine your benefits, or you buy a higher plan privately, and you pay that every month like a car payment, so that something like that happens, you're covered. Sure, freedom of choice, but the individual has to pay for it. That's the American way. In Canada, it's public health care, meaning we all share in the expense, whether it's deferred, like right now, right across Canada, it's all deferred for a later date. At some time, the bill comes due, and we all get to share it. And no one ever pays it off. No government ever pays it off. They just keep adding credit card payments. You keep taking from your standard of living. Things get hard, and you go, what's going on here? Healthcare is not free, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing's free in this world. Americans will tell you this. Americans will tell you this. Pro-choice at your expense. A tremendous amount of rights in the United States, enshrined civil and human rights. But it costs you, and you got to choose. Not get somebody else to pay. That's called socialism. That's education. That's reality. That's real, credible, and verifiable research that is backed up and 100% accurate. Unlike PPC and the anti-vaxxers who keep coming with garbage post after garbage post. I've gotten rid of hundreds. And don't worry, everybody. People tell me no one's even watching your videos anymore. There are a whole series of friend requests on my Facebook. I'm not answering any of them until I clean this clock. I get rid of the absolute garbage. People who are just going to bring this party down and destroy everything we're working towards. Because people need to know the truth. If you're going to build a party, you need to be on equal footing and everyone gets the knowledge. Not make believe. Not pretend it's something that isn't there. Not, oh, someone else will pay for it, not me. That's not what we're doing here. We're giving the full, truthful account from all sides of it. Full education. We're going to have experts deliver expert, real, credible, verifiable, legal experience from a lifetime of being in that particular field. Not everyday dumbbells. Sorry, we got enough of that in our Canadian politics. And clearly, Canadians are institutionalized that you just make up whatever you want. Politicians do. I'm going to do it too. Well, no, it doesn't work like that. We got to cut out the cancer, and there's a big cancer that's flooded in here, and I'm not playing anymore. The data's real, credible, verifiable. People are losing their lives, and we're facing extreme costs deferred, extreme borrowing, extreme socialism. Sorry, people need to know the truth, not people's cockamamie crap. That's what it is. I have seen zero evidence on the other side. Oh, there's lots of stories from the other side. Where are the death certificates, the wristbands from the hospital? Where's the vaccine status? None of it. But yet, the vaccine side, nothing but evidence. Nothing but evidence. We got to clean house. I got to clean the closet because we're not putting forward a party with lunatics, radicals, and crazy. If you want to be in that, join the PPC or other narratives, join the Green Party. There's fringe groups for you. That's not what we're building here, and I'll never deliver that. Only truth. Like it or hate it, that's called reality. The world, the country, the regions as they really are. It's been 7 days. 7 days, and not 1 ounce of evidence, not a shred of any credible, verifiable documentation, pictures or other, to support anything PPC and anti-vaxxers are claiming. All cockamamie and completely void of any reality. Nobody cares about last year and restrictions and serious lockdowns. We want to know the stats as they really are, that supports this other side of it, the anti-vaxxer PPC side, that says freedom of choice in our public healthcare system, knowing the results of Alberta from July 1st when they went fully open, no restrictions whatsoever, at a certain vaccine rate, to right now, and all the data and statistics. You want to claim that full vaccinated people have died at some unbelievable rate? You need to show the evidence. Otherwise, you're a bold-faced, commie liar like all the other radicals. That's what you are. You just want extreme socialism for your right that somebody else has to pay for. That's been done in this world, and it don't work. And every radical always goes that way. That's world history since World War II. Every nation and groups of people just converge on all the crap and end up in full dictatorial socialism. That's a fact. That's why the Allies had to step in. Even large communist states, even they stepped in to say no, no, no. It's crazy, but it's true. Verifiable, credible, and real. Everything I bring forward is real, backed up, credible, verifiable. If you can't do that, there's no place for you here, and I'm not going to give you my page and platform. So far, everything I've presented is real, and not 1 ounce of credible dispelling of it. Keep running back to other narratives, everything but what we're focused on, and still no answer. Not from PPC and not from any anti-vaxxer groups. All absolute and utter bullshit, because that's what these people are. 100% liars, propagandists, no different than the commies, no different than the radicals in the extreme left, because they're one and the same. They're one and the same. There is no left and right. There's only up here at full autocracy and down here at liberty. And unfortunately, we're in an absolute autocracy, top of the pyramid, and all of you are down here under the thumb, institutionalized. And until people start looking at the world as it really is, start really credibly verifying facts, scrutinizing, you're never going to amount to nothing but garbage. And everyone's going to turn on you. That's a fact. Nobody likes a liar. Bye now.